What if the phone you've consistently ignored, the one you dismissed as uninspired, just completely blew your mind? Imagine a device so transformative, it doesn't just change your perspective, it forces an apology. For years, I looked right past Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold. Honestly, I always preferred the compact snap of a flip phone, and the Z Fold just seemed, well, a bit ho-hum, not really pushing the envelope. I truly didn't feel the need to give it a moment of my time. Then, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 landed on my doorstep, ready for review. Suddenly, I had to step way out of my comfort zone. And you know what? I cannot believe I waited this long. After years of actively avoiding the Z Fold series, I was simply not prepared for how incredible this latest model feels in your hands. I owe Samsung a genuine apology, and I honestly think every one of you should at least pick up a Z Fold 7 and hold it. Here's why. A few months ago, I thought I had already encountered Samsung's thinnest device with the Galaxy S25 Edge. My review wasn't exactly glowing. I concluded that thinner isn't always better. That phone felt like Samsung squeezed everything, sacrificing battery life, cutting camera flexibility, and even reintroducing accidental display presses. Yet, surprisingly, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 manages to be even thinner. Now, that's when it's unfolded, of course. When you open the Z Fold 7 to reveal its expansive 8-inch internal display, that's about half an inch larger than before. This ultra-premium device drops from 8.9mm thick down to an astonishing 4.2mm. To put that in perspective, it's 1.6mm thinner than the S25 Edge and almost a full millimeter thinner than Apple's M4 powered iPad Pro. It genuinely feels unreal in your hand. And here's the kicker. I feel more comfortable holding its combination of Gorilla Glass ceramic and Armor aluminum than the S25 Edge's somewhat slippery titanium. What makes the Galaxy Z Fold 7 a clear winner where the Edge stumbled? It's how Samsung utilizes its space. Yes, the Fold gives them double the real estate, but they put it to good use. You get a larger 4,400 mAh battery and a 10-megapixel telephoto sensor. It's not super sharp, but it absolutely makes the Z Fold 7 feel far more flexible. Its slightly thicker camera bump also subtly suggests Samsung could have done the same for the S25 Edge. After all, the 200-megapixel primary and 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensors are identical across both phones, so adding that telephoto lens to the Fold feels like finding a missing piece of the puzzle. Looking at the S25 Edge through the lens of the Z Fold 7 also brought another realization to light. Most people don't upgrade their phones every single year. And honestly, why should they? Samsung offers as many as 7 years of Android updates and security patches for its flagships. But as a tech reviewer, my job often pushes me to hunt for the absolute biggest, best upgrades year over year, just to justify a brand new phone. And I often end up a little disappointed. If you compare the Galaxy Z Fold 5 to the Z Fold 6, the differences really weren't that significant. Sure, the Fold 6 had a slightly more squared-off, wider shape, but the cameras were almost identical. The thickness difference was negligible, maybe half a millimeter. And they both stubbornly stuck with that underwhelming 4-megapixel under-display selfie camera that simply never improved. Honestly, there was very little compelling reason to jump from one foldable to the next. We said as much in our review. But here's the magic. Put the Galaxy Z Fold 5 next to the Galaxy Z Fold 7. And they hardly look like they belong in the same family. The camera bumps share a similar 3-circle layout, and One UI, well, One UI is One UI. But the Fold 7 is nearly 2 millimeters thinner when unfolded. It's almost impossible to overstate just how thin that feels. It also boasts an IP48 rating, which adds a crucial layer of reassurance against dust, building on its already excellent water protection. And then, there's Galaxy AI. This is Samsung's big push, the real reason they want you to update. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Fold 7 launched with pretty similar AI options. Features like Drawing Assist, Browsing Assist, and Live Translate for calls. But the Galaxy Z Fold 5? It gained only a few AI tricks, not to the same extent as Samsung's newer foldables. Plus, with the older Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 under its hood, the Fold 5 simply won't get as much long-term software love as the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy, or even the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy powering the Z Fold 7. When you view Samsung's steady, Evolving innovation through this wider lens, those seemingly minor yearly upgrades suddenly become so much more meaningful. Fractions of a millimeter transform into significant leaps, and a few extra megapixels make a real difference. I might still grumble a bit about the Fold's battery and charging, but I promise you, I will never be so quick to dismiss Samsung's original foldable phone again. So what does this mean for you? Perhaps it's a reminder to look beyond the annual hype cycle and appreciate the true progress technology makes over a few years. Has a tech product ever completely changed your mind? We would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast for more insights just like this, and share your own tech turnaround stories with us.